Hello, hello, hello. Long time no see. Happy New Year to everyone. Yes. Happy New Year. It has been a long time since we last. Yes, way too long. Hey everyone. So, how are you doing, Max?
Awesome.
When was our last streaming episode? I think half a year ago.
December. Let's check the website.
No, I think it was in June. Pretty sure it was in June. Let's check the website. Yeah. So the website, the last post there was a New Year's post, I think. So a Christmas post I did. But
Did you post something?
Yes, I did. I told you. Forgot.
I forgot.
I'm much sad.
Yeah. The website is not working. 404 not found. AzureTechTalk.net, right? That's our website.
Yes.
I broke it.
You broke it.
I don't know why. But yeah, Frank.
Did the Azure Functions kill your website?
You wanted to start a new prototype, a new app.
Yes.
Tell us everything.
Yeah, so first of all, and we can do that on stream as well, I wanted to pitch to you the idea. Should we consolidate our two channels into one new channel maybe in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Like one dedicated one, and then only one of us streams to that one and captures the other one, and we take turns. Could be a possibility. Just to let you know, this idea came to me because then we would have a topic-driven channel and wouldn't be
not the two personals.
Yeah. So that was one idea, but we can talk about that later. Just a pitch.
I'm not using Azure Max for anything else than Azure Tech Talk, so I don't really care.
Yeah. So for me, it's my identity on Twitch. It's me on Twitch. It's me, the Star Killer on Twitch.
You look like Mario.
Why?
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, I do look a little bit like Mario. That's true.
No, no, Frank.
I have a stash, so and I think the similarities then end. Yeah. So about this app. So when I wrote this last, actually it came from the last entry we had on our webpage when it still worked. So when we create something here, some content on Twitch, you know that there's a video that gets created on Twitch, and we take that video and we put it onto YouTube, and then somebody needs to take the time to write a description for this YouTube video, to invent a title, and then to put it into the blog, and all that. So, and I think everybody realized end of last year that there was something new coming up that everybody's now talking about.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
No, Bitcoin.
No.
No, the other thing. Okay, ChatGPT.
It was ChatGPT. So we are not talking about high-risk things here on this channel. It's ChatGPT. So, and what I realized when I wrote the last blog entry is that ChatGPT can help you with descriptions for videos and all that. So my idea, so first of all, I hate the process of taking one video from one side, putting it to another side by hand. I hate that. So first of all, my first idea was let's write an exporter and use Azure as the platform to write the exporter. And then said, hey, let's think about what would be if we include in this picture also ChatGPT. And kind of like automate the process that takes the video. We put the video somewhere where we get the transcript, for example. And then we send this transcript to somewhere else and say, hey, give me a summary of that video. And do it like for a video description or something. I think that ChatGPT also gets the context there quite well. And then put it automatically on the side with the title, and also give me a title, for example, and topics where we can use tags and all that, and automate this process and just have an API where we can send video to. Then I talked to a colleague, and he actually said, hey, we have the same use case, but for us, it's podcast. We have a podcast, and some people want to listen to podcasts on YouTube as well. So what they're looking for is something easy to take an audio file and do the same and just put it into a YouTube video where there's no video itself, it's just the sound playing. So then I think, so in the end, what my idea now is to have kind of like an API. First of all, the API, we have an exporter API. That is the thing that we should build, but I think that's the second thing that we should build. And the other thing would be to first have an API where we can talk to the ChatGPT or the OpenAI API and give something there and get something back. So this is the pitch. What do you think about that?
Cool. It sounds like we would automate 5 minutes of work, but yeah, like coming up with the summary and
it's not 5 minutes of work. I can tell you that it's hours of work because
I know. I'm just making the numbers up.
Yeah.
But yeah, connecting APIs. But you said exporter. Isn't this like what? It's like one task where it says, "Hey, download the Twitch video or whatever."
No, but what I want to do is kind of like you have like so the end goal or the picture that came into my mind. If you think about what should it look like, we have a web page. Somebody can log in, then somebody can link his Twitch account to that, and he automatically gets a view about all the saved videos he has in Twitch, and then he can decide, hey, mark this and that video, and give me recommendations for a title, the description, and something else. You need to think about what meta information would we provide there. And then you could say, okay, that's fine. Post that to YouTube, to my YouTube channel that you also linked beforehand.
So it's like you would or federate the services to one platform so it can pull and push.
Yeah, exactly. And you can have this OpenAI, so the creation can be manually so that you first see what it gives back. Or you could also say in the application, hey, do that for every video automatically in the future. And say like, I want these videos then on YouTube just as private, so I can work on them still, and they are not published anymore directly. But you could also say, for example, do them public. I trust the description there. So this gets automated. Every time we have you could also say, do this for every new video. So when we have a podcast, when we have this session here, we stop the session, that gets created and automatically put there. And we could also think about, do we also want it to link it later directly to a blog, for example? It creates the post for the blog automatically.
I mean, everything what you just mentioned is an API. So like connecting the APIs.
And different services. For example, what I also looked into a little bit is, we have a video, and how can we get, for example, the transcript of the video and work with that in the future? Video indexing would be a thing that we could think about. And so my goal of this, so today is the first session, and we're talking more about how could this look like, and what moving parts do we need in the platform to realize that. But my idea is to build it also on stream. So to have each and every Azure service. So I wanted to since this is Azure Tech Talk and not something else talk or cloud talk. I think there are some cloud talks as well, but to use Azure to the fullest.
Cool.
So let's see.
I have ideas.
You have ideas. That is good. Let's see how we compete about the ideas, and if we come to a picture in the future. So let me share this for you. And So you should see now a whiteboard.
I don't. Let me go over to this one.
In Teams.
In Teams, exactly.
See?
And get rid of... Yeah, but in my stream now I see myself like 2 times and you also.
Why?
Because I have the video overlay and also the Teams. Can I pop this out? Yes.
Okay.
This is better. Let me move this to here. Yep. Now you are on stage.
So should be also look fine in my stream. Let's have a look. Did I activate the mic? Everything is fine. I think everybody can hear me. Okay, so first of all, let's draw a little bit, right? So each and every idea better starts to work with when you visualize it, right? So first of all, I will do a box here and say I put a box here, and we have something in the middle, right? So this is Twitch. This is YouTube.
YouTuber.
And this is, I would say, API. I think we will...
This is Azure, yeah.
Yeah, this is Azure. Now I want to break it up into Azure parts.
The fun thing is we move from AWS to Azure to Google.
Yeah, so this is every cloud.
Yeah.
So it's a multi-cloud stream.
No.
No, exactly. So let's also put in some pointers maybe. So as I said, this goes there. And then this goes there. The API also kind of calls to do round things maybe. What do you think?
I'm just getting distracted by spam in my Twitch channel.
Really? You have a spammer? Who's that?
Irrelated DC. Can I like block them somehow? Block, report, spam, bye.
Just ban him. /ban and then the name.
Block this user. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Okay.
By the way, before we start, I wanted to say thank you, Kuhn23, for your subscription with True Prime. Much appreciated. Yes, people are subscribing to my channel. Even before the stream started. When I was preparing to start, so suddenly the notification popped up and I almost shit myself. So because I wasn't expecting that.
Please don't.
Yeah, I know. I think it's also against the terms of service to shit yourself on stream. But you don't see that. You only see my upper body, so it's quite all right. So okay, let's have a look here. So I would say so. OpenAI we have here, right? We are using OpenAI APIs. Maybe this will change in the future. You heard it as well, right? This could be potentially be in Azure in the future as well. But let's see what happens there. So, and what else do we have? I think we also need something to video index, right? Would
Why?
you agree? Because we have a video and we don't have a transcription for the video.
OpenAI has one for this.
Does it also have a video indexer? I did look at that beforehand, and I wasn't sure that is there.
Because of all the fanciness about like ChatGPT,
Yeah.
another great product that is also like open source, like didn't get as much attention as it should be, It's called OpenAI Whisper.
Yes. And what does Whisper accept?
And Whisper accepts audio.
Yeah, but
and it can
okay.
transcribe it.
Hmm?
So any language can be transcribed. I think they support like 140 languages,
Hmm?
and they support translation to English,
Okay.
like from all languages to English.
So also from English to German. So this would be
No,
also
no, German to English. Only one direction. Chinese to English, whatever, everything to English.
Okay. So because would have been interesting to also put it the other way around to get
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. So we could use that as well for that, because I was thinking we need to index the video maybe, but can it also? So it only works with audio, right?
It works with the underlying is FFmpeg, so it also works with
Video.
videos.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
And the results are freaking amazing.
Hi, Tom. Okay, freaking amazing. So you're on your superlative
Yeah.
pass again.
I tested
Very
lots
useful,
of services.
Right? It's very nice.
I tested lots of services, also like Azure services in comparison.
Yeah.
And this OpenAI services in comparison gave me better results. But the downside to this, there is no API for this.
There's
you need to run this by yourself.
Okay. How do you run
or
it? Or
somewhere, like in a Docker container or VM, whatever.
So it's in batch file.
It's a Python wrapper.
Python. But does the Python wrapper not talk to an API in the background?
No, it's locally installed. And it downloads the model to your computer, like the pre-trained whatever. And you can define it. There's really small models that give you good and fast results. But there are also like large models where it takes like 4 gigabytes of download. And potentially they only run efficiently on GPUs.
Okay. But actually what my idea was, and let me, if you would be interested, because there's also a service that we could use that maybe takes care of two things that we have. There's the video indexer service we also have in Azure, and that can do that as well. And also understands languages, can tag persons and all that, and automatically put in the persons and all that. And it also puts it on storage somewhere. So it would help us in kind of like moving the video somewhere and then have a place where it's persisted and move to another thing.
So it sounds like this is like the managed offering, and the other one is the you get one component, but you need to build the rest.
Yes, exactly. So what would you think about going for video indexer at that point?
I mean, let's compare.
Okay.
What gives us the better results and works better for our
Yeah.
use cases?
Yeah.
Maybe we combine them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the output of OpenAI Whisper would be either text, SRT, so subrip subtitles, or VTT.
Okay.
The three files are like the output of this Python. I call it Python script, but it's like fully fledged, machine learning thingy. And you said, hey, storage. So we need a cheap place to put the files and persist them, to then process them once we downloaded them from Twitch. So yeah, I think Azure Blob Storage would be the best and cheapest one.
And we also would need a web UI. I put that down here. Okay.
Azure Static Web Apps.
Yeah, static web apps or even whatever. I don't. It could be also running on Kubernetes. I think so. So let's see. Yeah, we need Kubernetes in the end. So if you think about the API, yeah, for the API.
Why?
What would you?
Why not like functions, app service?
To make it more scalable, I would see more the Kubernetes part. I actually talked to persons about that, and we need some logic in there. And I think that the more scalable part maybe would be, we could use both. We could have a look at what we could use there.
I mean, scale is a long-term problem, right? And like solving this early on could be expensive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this a little bit, because I think this is like exactly also a sweet spot that we have in our daily discussions, right? When does it make sense to use Kubernetes or hosted offerings or VMs?
Yeah. 1 second, Tom is asking one question. What is the new app? So Tom, we are trying to write an app that lets you gives you the opportunity to take your Twitch videos, for example, or even podcast audio files, get them and upload them to YouTube, to export them to YouTube. But we also want to make like the description of the YouTube video then that gets created from that through OpenAI through the usage of ChatGPT and automate this process. So I think the interesting thing about AI today is how it can make processes more efficient or more faster. And this is something where, so we have the use case, we always have the videos here, we have a blog and all that, and we want to put the videos on YouTube. So this is kind of like the idea to make also to create something that will help us in the end, but also look into how can AI improve this process.
Yeah, and make it better and like reduce also our like load to make this better, right? I use ChatGPT like a lot in the recent days, because it helps me write better and more understandable text.
Yeah.
Like English is not my first language, quite obviously, and giving like feedback to other persons and like in written form, and I use ChatGPT and like put in the bullet points and then say, hey, please make a text out of it, and the outcome is like simply amazing. It would typically take me like 30 minutes to make it nice and readable, and my English teacher would be proud and all that, but ChatGPT, it's seconds, minutes, and I can say, hey, make it longer, make it shorter, make it crisp, whatever, make it funny, and the outcome is insanely good.
When I talked to the colleague there, he also told me, so for one example he had was kind of like, there's, for example, a handy worker, so a craftsman who does, for example, plumbing or woodwork or something like that, and he needs to talk to his clients, right? So, and he described to me that somebody gave him a possibility, if he gets mails from some customer, he can then formulate his answer and send this to an email address, which is then tied to ChatGPT, and this then creates what he wants to say in a more formal way.
I saw this tweet about this.
Yeah.
And the new possibilities about this, and also like integrational options. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
And also what I want to do is, what is also funny and also kind of like for our next streams, I want to use ChatGPT also to learn why we're doing that. So we're integrating that and to ask ChatGPT, hey, what should we do if we want to do that?
Yeah.
And
how to build this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me like an example for web UI, and how do I include, for example, in the background and all the moving parts. Maybe also, hey, can you tell me if there's a YouTube API to upload videos, and do you have an example for that? So let's see how this works out. So not today, I think. I'm not sure.
I mean,
if we
potentially we don't need to use ChatGPT for this, because Copilot is using.
Copilot. Yeah, but Copilot.
It's the same.
Yeah, but
it's not interaction. It's like helping you write code and autocompletes code, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get your point. But it's the same technology.
Yeah, and it's the same. That's codecs in the background. No, that's more for the programming language part, right? So what I want to use ChatGPT for is so in the past we used kind of like a web search to search sites about the topic, and then we had to click on the sites and get
Stack
to know
Overflow,
for example. But we had to click on the site and get to know what other people wrote about that, what is documentation and all that. And I think what my realization was in the last 2 or 3 weeks is that ChatGPT can make it more tangible for you. You can talk to it like you talk to a teacher or something, and you get answers. Bear in mind, those answers could be wrong, so you need to have a certain understanding about that and still need to fact check that. But it helps you kind of like be more faster and be faster to kind of get an idea. So it's very good for idea finding and to how to know to look where. So that would be my idea for the upcoming streams, which are hopefully the next one is not in 6 months, but in 2 weeks. But we cannot. Let's see.
Most likely, yes.
Most likely, right? So, okay, then. Do you wanted to talk about the hosting part? I think we are not there yet. So, but we could decide on the fly. So, functions could be a possibility, but. So what I want is to kind of like include the scaling a little bit up front. We could do both. We could have a look because.
I mean, let's do the same approach for Video Indexer and Whisper, and also for this API and Web UI component kind of things.
Yeah.
And then let's write it down in whatever we feel the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It certainly won't become a new Azure service. What we built here. So let's see and learn and use the fun new technology that is available to us and make this work.
Yeah.
And of course, it will be open source, right?
Yeah. Maybe so the creation part will be open source. Maybe we will use that, and maybe we also give it then to other people to use it. And I'm not sure about if we would monetize it in the future or if we not. So we could have a free version and we could open source the creation part, but kind of like to host. So if you host it and use it, somebody could give you also money. So
I mean, it costs money, right, to run this?
Yes.
I mean, the storage costs money, the conversion from the video to the text will cost money.
Yeah.
And also the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Like downloading to Azure will be free, but getting it out.
Yeah.
If you like also do the publishing to YouTube, will cost money.
Yeah, and also the API calls to OpenAI will also cost money.
Yes, and that depending on how long the video or the audio is, can be quite costly.
Yeah, and also the video indexer will also cost. So the idea would be to maybe open source the whole moving parts, so how it's programmed, but kind of like the hosting itself and the service that is running and that we maintain could be maybe something that we.
Okay, and you said you want to have a web UI?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
why not like use a CLI for this?
Because people, so if you look at the normal Twitch streamer, they are not CLI. They are not CLI people. They want to have the service where they can log in, they can use their credentials they have somewhere else, for example.
So click,
make
it work for me.
Yeah, connect this service, connect that service, maybe even an app for my mobile phone in the future. Could be a potential thing to extend in the future. And there you have kind of like the portal where you can do that, because this command line. So we have an API later, and we could provide this API for everything that we want. You could also maybe talk to it via a CLI, but mainly my focus would be to have a web portal first. I think to CLI the API is kind of like not that hard in the end, right?
I mean, wrapping APIs is also doable, right?
Yeah.
Everything is an API.
Yeah.
If we design this to like also being used from a command line, then could also be a command line.
Yeah, and what Tom says here is also very true. You very much reduce your potential customer base with just CLI.
Yeah, if we like plan to commercialize this or
Yeah.
like giving it to others, then yeah.
Yeah, and others are also kind of like when somebody else wants to use it, maybe he also wants support. But sometimes people, so the clicky bunty stuff, so the clicky portal stuff, sometimes it's more easier in the first one. Maybe the advanced things could be good via CLI, and I agree, Tom. So let me draw a user here. So he would access it then first here. And if we have a user, what do we need?
Yeah, you need an authentication provider, right?
Yeah. You need
Let's
identity.
build our own. Please, let's build one.
We have an authentication.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I was just like, okay, when do we start? When would we want to be finished? So, since I wanted to keep everything in Azure, my idea would be to use Azure B2C. So, because Azure B2C is so Azure Business to Consumer is a way to integrate other auth providers as well. So you can include Twitch identities, YouTube identities, whatever you like, and
Microsoft identities.
Microsoft identities. I thought that was a given.
Or like Google login. Right? The Gmail login here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it would be a good way to also link kind of like permissions from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could also then have the tokens there. So Azure. I never worked with that.
Me neither. If I get questions, I always follow with this because it's very, very like specific and niche. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at it and see if that works for us or if we implement our own.
Yeah. I think implementing. What do you mean with implementing our own? I don't want to.
Username, login. Username, password, sign up, registration using Azure Communication Service. We should also add this for sending emails.
Yes. Okay. So
this is also freaking amazing. Yeah. I really love this new service to send emails directly through Azure and not use third-party offerings or Office 365 workarounds where you use the SMTP, whatever. Super cool and very, very, very cheap. It's like 0.0.0.0.02 cent per email that you send out. And typically you get like, if you use a new domain or send stuff from newly registered service, you typically like land in the junk folder. But somehow if you do the registration in Azure Communication Service and all the registrations in DNS, this doesn't happen.
Why are you lulling, Tom? Yeah, I think it's because of the trust and the MMX records that we have in the
Yes, and not only it's also DKIM and all the key management and all that, and it's like hooked into the O365 structure, and they are sending billion of emails, so they know how this works. Yep, that's cool, because some of the stuff here will take like hours depending on what you throw at it. So like informing the users not to if they are not longer on the website, that stuff happened will be crucial.
Yeah, Tom actually lolled about let's build our own authentication. So username password is
why not? What could go wrong?
Username password is not. I think that's not state of the art, Mark. Sorry.
What could go wrong?
No. Please no.
Tiny bit of database and
No!
GDPR nightmares and yeah.
Yeah, but databases, I think we would still need somewhere.
Yes, sure. A tiny database.
Yeah, so I will also put it into here.
Mm-hmm.
And say, I will just call it SQL, whatever SQL it is.
Or DB.
Yeah, so DB is even more better.
Neutral, yeah.
Yeah, because we could also have NoSQL databases, right? So I think most of the problems here could be also be
Azure Table Storage.
Now you're really searching for something that is very old.
Yeah, CSV file on Azure Blob Storage. I've seen this. It's amazing. Yeah, cheap. Yeah. It's really cheap.
It's really cheap, and I can tell you when was the last time there was a change to that service, and you can tell me if that is maybe something for the future. I don't think so.
It's mature.
Yeah, it's mature. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Alrighty.
What else do you see?
It's funny that we started from Twitch to API to YouTube.
Yeah.
And now this is like one direction, and now you added all those bidirectional.
Yeah. So this is the services on top, right? So this is kind of like a video sync, so a video provider, and you could, I think, also have. We could also make that omnidirectional. It could also give you back a description you could only put on a Twitch video, and you could also maybe also put a YouTube video there and then get a description back.
Yeah, like cross-linking from Twitch to YouTube, from YouTube to Twitch.
Yeah.
If they like that, if they not like said, hey, not the best idea to like.
No, it's totally fine. You can upload videos in Twitch also. It's it shouldn't be a problem. So, and also so it's not only Twitch, it's also audio. So maybe upload audio files or other input.
Like podcast platforms, right?
Yeah, they normally don't provide APIs. So the API is very hard on a podcasting platform. There's some, but not many.
But they have typically an RSS feed, right?
Yeah, you could take an RSS feed. So I would write. Yeah, then So RSS.
Yeah. So we should keep it in mind that the source could be.
Yeah.
Like Twitch, RSS, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
Then we need to like define the direction. In, out.
It's right here. Doors.
Yeah, that won't be done tomorrow. With our streaming cadence, it's like done in 10 years.
We need to put up our cadence.
Yeah, it's a new year. Let's try the 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then let's see how ChatGPT makes this faster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should start small. So and also maybe we don't need to stream it every time and do some work on the background. This would be also an idea. Would be a very nice hobby project where I could sink in some time on the back and would have real fun in, and then in the next stream we show like, hey, we did that and that and that, and now we want to focus for the stream on this part, and we did finish the other part, and also kind of like, if you don't have time, I could do something, and if you have time, I could do something. And what I want to do is also use kind of like infrastructure as code to set everything up. to make it reusable.
Bicep.
Yeah.
Boom.
So, what do you think?
Tons of work.
that doesn't sound positive.
I mean, I'm not shying away from work, so yeah. But I used some of these APIs in code, like not in this mumbo jumbo of combination, but in general, yeah, it's doable what you described here.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it's like full-time job to build this and bring this into an usable product.
Yeah, I would first kind of like have a proof of concept.
Maybe
take
MVP.
Like an MVP, minimal viable product, then where we kind of like create an easy web interface and all that, and just have like the videos and can do it, and everything works like kind of like the bare minimum that the application needs to do would work. So Tom has another question. Could you do an ease of access and quick convert browser plugin? Streamer finish the stream, click on browser plugin, start convert, goes to YouTube. When everything is there, I think that would be then also a possibility, yes.
I have built one Edge extension, browser extension, and it's JavaScript. So if it's on the website and you can like extract the data that you want to send to the API, then this is also possible.
So maybe it could also tie in. So if you have, so I think you can get the video IDs and then you would send it to the API and say, get me that video. You would need to make sure that you have authorization for that. And I think that would be possible then to put it into a plugin as well. Yeah, but I think that would be step 4 or 5.
We have like this kind of size of backlog.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So my idea also would be to kind of like, if we do that, let's do it in a organized DevOps way. So that we kind of like, I don't know if GitHub gives all the possibilities, but I would, for example, also have backlog items and all that, where we can split down the work.
That's there. Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Like task list and all that. So.
Yeah, task list. Do you mean the ones in the wiki you normally have there?
No, like in the issues and like having roadmaps there and all that. I can show you this.
Yeah, so we can have a look in that, because what I got with issues is that it's more like the problem, it's tied to a problem. And if you think about the DevOps process, you don't need to want to tie it to a problem only, but also to the CI/CD or the DevOps, for example, Scrum story.
Yeah, let's not overcomplicate this. We are just two guys to build this, and maybe this.
No,
we do not need to have a Scrum burn down, whatever.
Actually, so let me give you the reasoning for my ask, and that. Yes, we are just 2 guys, and this would work with 2 guys. But if you do it in that way, you could potentially scale and say, hey, if somebody is interested, onboard him, and he could do also parts. If somebody wants to collaborate, the more easier it is to onboard somebody there and not have it in our heads, and that's a problem, the better it is. So, yes, let me port this then, and if this is an idea.
It's funny that this it's a whiteboard, right? That it like it converted your circle from the head of the person down there.
Yeah.
Like it's a perfect circle now.
Yes.
This autocomplete thingy is really nice.
Enhanced ink shapes, always helpful if you do prototyping. It's something that Paint can't do, and I always like whiteboard a lot for that.
Yeah, immediately looking more professional. Hey, how did you like clean up your desktop? Why is it like empty?
It's a VM.
This is cheating.
No, it's kind of like that's a safe desktop to stream. See? Nothing there. Isn't it nice? So clean. Gives me calmness. Gives me calmness.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't show my desktop.
Yeah, because every time you stream, you have the problem that can I show my screen? Is there something that is potentially not good to show on screen on stream?
Yeah, work related, whatever, privacy, personal life, whatever.
Yeah. So this is the easiest way to set up a VM and have like a VM to use that, because then you have a kind of like an environment that is safe for work. Okay, so I don't know how much time you still have. If we would start with something.
I would like to wrap it and close the stream and then discuss a little bit how we plan this, how we make this work, and how much time we can put into this, and then also like fix our website because it's broken.
So you would like to wrap the stream?
Yes, let's close down. I think this is amazing result for like, what is it?
1 hour?
50 minutes now?
Yeah. Almost 1 hour, yeah. Short stream.
Today, yes.
So expect 8-hour streams in the future where we do backlog burn downs.
Yeah.
Max laughs and Max laughs and doesn't think that I'm serious, but I'm damn serious now.
No, I wanted to say, don't jinx it, my friend. If you start this, I recall our like one of the first streams that we had, where we like tried a similar approach and said, hey, let's do this with the video and chatbot or whatever to like keep scammers busy. And yeah, I think we worked 4 hours on this and nothing worked.
Yeah. I think that the
chatbot composer thingy, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, but I think that the problem was that we didn't break down the things beforehand into sizable chunks. And did have a look at that. So I also in the future, if we think about the streams, I want to bring in the process of how to approach it. I want to have that in there as well. So we shouldn't talk too much after the stream now about this, and kind of like show the audience how to approach that.
Cool.
So quick and short. So for me, 1 hour is really short.
Is it?
Yeah, I know other streams which are longer. But for us, it's kind of like ages. So if you think about not streaming and streaming 1 hour, 1 hour is a lot. So
your clock is wrong in the VM.
Yeah, it's 1 hour behind. Set to the wrong time zone. But I want
UK time zone.
Yes. I do that that you think we're not.
We have 1 more hour.
To fool you.
Sleep deprived tomorrow. Frank fooled me, like putting the clock 1 hour.
Yeah, and then when you're not looking, I would put it 1 hour back again, and you're like, feels like 3 hours.
It's 8 again.
Yeah. Okay, then let's wrap it up there, and next time.
Cool beans. Really looking forward to it. Let's see how we like tackle this and how ChatGPT will build this for us.
Yes, exactly. I don't expect it to build it for us. I think it will guide us.
Yes, or how it would influence us building this.
Yes, perfect. Then
looking forward to the next stream in like 2 weeks.
Yes. Can't say if it's Monday or Thursday, but in 2 weeks. Goodbye, everyone.